Hello everyone. In this part we will take about the histology of alimentary canal. So first of all you have to know what is the meaning of histology. For example, this is the alimentary canal and the wall of alimentary canal is this. This is the wall of alimentary canal. I am covering it this structure. So we are studying about the structure of these alimentary canal. Histology. This is histology means how the alimentary canal is made up of this and here this. I hope you understand. So histology of alimentary canal, actually alimentary canal it consists of mainly four layers: serosa, muscularis, submucosa and mucosa. First we talk about serosa. You can see in this diagram also outermost layer, this is the serosa. It is the outermost layer made up of squamous epithelium and areolar connective tissue. Simpler type of tissues are present in this layer. Next is the muscularis. It is actually made up of two layers. Let us see in this diagram muscularis. So muscularis is this layer and it is made up of inner circular and outer longitudinal layer. It has two layers. This one is the inner circular and this is the outer longitudinal. Means in circular region circular types of cells are present, in longitudinal region longitudinal cells are present. So it is composed of outer longitudinal and inner circular muscle fiber. Muscle fiber are actually smooth and have network of nerve cells, because intestine also receive blood, because for contraction and relaxation it also needs energy. Another one, third one layer is the submucosa. It consists of actually loose connective tissue which is richly supplied with the blood and lymph vessels. Mesller's plexus is present between the muscular coat and mucosa that controls the intestinal juice. Actually it is the complex Meissner's plexus. It is the plexus which helps in the secretion of intestinal juice. We will study about intestinal juice later. And after that mucosa is the last one layer. Mucosa, it is the innermost layer lining the lumen. This you can see that this is the lumen from which the food pass, and this is the wall of alimentary canal. So mucosa, it is the innermost layer lining the lumen of alimentary canal. It has irregular folding in stomach called rugae and villi in small intestine. And you can see here in this diagram also that it has some villi like structure. In intestine they are the villi, and in stomach these are called as rugae. So now we will take up the digestive glands. As I told you that digestive glands are also the main part of human digestive system. Digestive glands actually made up of there are three digestive glands in our body: salivary gland, liver and pancreas. So first we will discuss about salivary gland. Salivary gland is present in the oral cavity and it secretes saliva. In human beings, salivary glands are of three types, three pairs you can say: parotid, sublingual and submandibular, based on their position. And next one is the liver. It is the largest gland in human body. Please remember that it is the largest gland in human body and it lies in the upper right side of the abdominal cavity, just below the diaphragm. If you remember about the structure of human respiratory system, so these are the lungs. So after here the diaphragm like structure is present, so it is present on the right side of the diaphragm. Hepatic lobules covered by Gleason's capsule are structural and functional unit of liver, which are made up of hepatic cell. Actually hepatic word is related to liver, and Gleason's capsule, hepatic lobules, these are the functional unit of liver. The secretion is stored and concentrated in the gallbladder. Actually you know that liver secrete bile juice, so bile juice is stored in the gallbladder for some time, and bile duct and pancreatic duct open together in the duodenum by a common duct guarded by sphincter of Oddi. Let us see in this diagram that this is the gallbladder. This is the gallbladder, and from the gallbladder a duct arises. This is the duct from gallbladder, and after that there is the duct from pancreas also. This is the pancreas. From pancreas a duct arises, that is pancreatic duct. This is, and this one is the common bile duct. So hepatopancreatic duct, you can see here, this is the hepato, this is the pancreatic duct, this is the common bile duct, and these both open into the duodenum part. You can see this is U shaped, is the duodenum part from hepatopancreatic duct. Means the secretion from liver and the secretion of pancreas combine together and opens into the duodenum by hepatopancreatic duct. Now comes to and this is, there is one more important topic, that is sphincter of Oddi. As I already told you about gastroesophageal sphincter, pyloric sphincter, similarly this is the sphincter of Oddi, which is guarded, which actually helps in the transfer of hepatopancreatic duct. And after that, next one is the pancreas. It is the soft lobulated grayish pink gland which is about only 60 grams, and it consists of endocrine as well as exocrine portion. You also know that it is a heterocrine gland, means it secrete pancreatic juice as well as hormones. So exocrine portion secrete alkaline pancreatic juice which contains some enzymes for the digestion of food, and endocrine secretes hormone insulin and glucagon. Hormone insulin and glucagon have their own function. Insulin helps in the lowering of blood glucose level, while glucagon helps in the increasing of blood glucose level based on the necessity. So in the next part we will discuss about the human digestion of food, how it takes place in the human body. Thank you.